recording them both.
Some Dude Talking again. We're back in the saddle.
Hell
Doing
yeah.
Some Dude Talks.
A full like year.
It's been a minute.
It's been so long.
That was our premiere episode. The history of Some Dude Productions. Don't worry, guys. We'll be back next time. With part 2. I think this is episode 7 of the show. Yes, it is episode 7.
Because I do remember originally we were pitching it as like, oh, the first episode will be this, and the second episode will be a continuation of the first one. And then I was like, nah, that's not happening.
You know, we made it and wait for it. Delayed gratification.
Yeah, but it did also make us do a lot more work because we had to catch up in the time that has since passed.
Yeah, because we did
that maybe 20 minutes before we started rolling here. Yeah. So we're fresh, dude.
Yeah.
We were just doing research.
Yeah.
Going down memory lane, and now we can go down memory lane together.
Hell yeah.
So we left off with Outbreak dropping and the 5-year anniversary of Some Dude Productions in May 2022. So we got 2 years to get through. We went through 5 in the first one.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, we kind of cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing after May, though, on June 17th, 2022, we dropped the Decays II Romero edition, which is the black and white cut of the movie. Then we also edited in Tori and Cam as Jennifer and Bill, since the recast.
Yeah.
And also Hannah as Evelyn.
Yeah.
Also weirdly popped off. Like that one has a decent amount of views.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like 20K or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. That's funny. I feel bad. Which number of Jennifer was? What was the total one?
Well, Tori's technically Jennifer 4.
4. Okay.
Jennifer 1 and 2 actually appeared. 3 was only cast.
Gotcha.
And then pulled out.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm here. I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm locked in.
And it's kind of funny you mentioned that because we do joke about it in this movie, which started shooting on August 27th, 2022. Fucking NDA, the Some Dude Production classic. You were both in that. You had a little cameo.
I did.
And you had like a featured role.
I was a big player, you know. Kind of the lifeblood of the movie. What they said, at least.
No, dude, I saw the critics. I saw the reviews.
Yeah.
You were legitimately hilarious in that, like when the forest bit when you were fucking running up all sweaty.
Wait,
and
the forest bit was really funny because it's funny though. So with that production, right? First of all, it's funny because correct me if I'm wrong. It was pitched as a quick summer shoot just to get us back into the groove of things, you know. Because we'd moved.
We'd shot Decays 3 in that May.
Yeah. So we're like, quick, fun summer production to get us off our feet. It was so
God, dude.
But
it was a long production.
It was a really long. But it was funny because I kind of forgot that the forest stuff was a part of that shoot. Because for me, the shoot was the office scene with because Alex was shooting it at that point.
Ian,
yeah.
Brooke. I had the tan underwear on, so it looked like I was fucking having my balls out.
Yeah, it's just so... Because I also remember that day in particular, like, that shoot was, like... I don't know, like... I think the main highlight I remember from that was that I felt really sick at some point, but I didn't want to use, like, the bathroom in your guys' apartment because it was right where everything was filming. Yeah. So I walked to 23rd Street and used the bathroom there, but, like, I didn't tell anybody, really. So, like, everyone was like, where's Sam? Like, what's happening? That was the particular highlight I remember from that was first case. But I forgot about the forest stuff. That was also really fun. Like,
no, that movie had a lot in it. But no, you're right. That summer, I had seen the, I forget the title, but it's the movie where Nicolas Cage just plays himself, and he goes through an identity crisis.
Oh, God.
With Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. What the fuck is it called?
Give him Bearable Way to Massive Talent.
Hell yeah.
There it is. Producer Trey, coming in clutch. No, NDA had the scene where we were all high in the living room with our pool,
my
feet
God.
in the pool.
Yeah.
I remember that. I helped Alex film that.
Yeah, we had that fucking dangerous ass fog machine that wasn't a fog machine. It was a fucking dispersed like insect pesticide, and so we used to like gas houses, but we loaded it with baby oil.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was squirting everywhere.
Yeah,
the
I remember.
ground was so wet.
It was so
It was a hazard. It was quite literally a hazard.
Yeah. And that was the night we all ate the hot chicken too, right?
Oh, because that was part of the scene.
Yeah. I don't know why. I think both Alex and I did it anyway, even though we weren't even in the scene.
Well, you had to.
I don't think I did.
You didn't?
No, you apps. You
Did I?
You had to have, yeah.
You do it on camera.
I don't remember that.
He blocked it out.
Yeah.
But you had those ice pops afterwards, which was nice.
I did?
Yeah.
Wow, what a
Remember that?
nice
What?
guy.
It's on camera.
And then Sebastian fell face first in the pool.
That's
Yep.
true.
That was the highlight too.
That was good.
That was a great moment.
The next morning, he's still in there.
That's true. How long did that end up taking?
40
construction?
taking. Well, the movie itself was like 40 something minutes. I think we wrapped.
Because it was a long time.
It was a long time.
Well, the movie ended up coming out in December 2023.
Gotcha.
So
Hell yeah.
over a year in post.
Yeah. We did have though Brooke in it. I thought she was great.
Brooke
I
McDougal,
really
Yeah, Brooke
love
was
her.
hilarious.
is
She's
fucking phenomenal.
so
Yeah.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that movie also just so like there were different points in the script. It was like a big battle between all the different people, and it was like all of like the people who had beef with some NDA Productions pulled up to like kill us.
yeah, I do remember that.
It was a whole epic battle, but then obviously we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Quick summer project.
Yeah, quick summer.
But yeah, that project did end the summer. Going into September, on September 9th, 2022, Gravsley dropped. So that was I remember very distinctly, if Gravsley did not do well, we were gonna stop with the DK spin-offs.
Hell yeah.
Do you remember that?
I think I remember that conversation.
Because Outbreak at the time didn't do well.
Yeah.
And we were like, fuck.
It's Anna's favorite though. My friend Anna Moth, it's her favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you
That's
got
so
you got that
sweet.
going for you though.
Oh, yeah, that's so sweet.
And it's since shot up.
Yeah,
like,
it has.
since the fucking that first couple months of coming out. We were like, I was like, oh god. I was like, we'll see how Gravsley does, but this is probably it in terms of the DK spin-offs. And then it kind of popped off, and I was like, oh god, people fucking love this guy. Okay, whatever. But that one was, we talked about it in the last fucking video. Fucking Shaw directed it. I'm in the snow, my pants ripped.
I do remember.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
The first line spoken is fuck.
Fuck.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Hopefully I never see that guy again.
He's dead to me.
Yeah, dude, fuck.
He's gone. It's over.
Yeah, it's done, dude. Jumping over a month, October 14th, 2022, the second and final episodes of FIIA dropped, which was Sophie's short-lived FIA series. She did 2 episodes and then kind of realized creatively, she was like, no, I'm not feeling it. And she was like trying to force it, and I was like, dude, if you're not feeling it, don't
Yeah.
make yourself do it. So she was like, okay.
Yeah.
So then there were no more episodes, and that's why there were no. That was it. And that happened over a phone call.
Really?
And it was like, okay,
Yeah.
we're done a show. But yeah, and then just fucking a week later, Decays 3 came out on October 21st.
Hell yeah.
God damn. Almost 3 years ago.
That's weird
Now.
to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Ugh.
We also talked that one a lot in the last episode, but
I'm trying. You know what's weird is like I'm having trouble remembering what the day felt like when it came out. Like what
well, we also had a premiere at some point earlier in the month that I guess
Oh,
yeah,
I
we
didn't,
did.
I didn't
We
write
did.
down.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was a fun premiere.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that.
We had a little party afterwards.
Oh my god. Yep.
Got rowdy.
Yep.
And we will
Yep.
say no more.
That was.
I'm finally back. For a second I was like, what rowdy part? I'm there. I'm locked back. It took me a beat, but I'm there.
Rowdy party of 8 people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I was just thinking because like I remember just again, and we talked about the previous one, but like how like distinct Decays 2 dropping felt that like that day I can picture
Yeah.
every single thing that happened.
I know
With Decays
exactly.
3 I was like, now I'm remembering it more, but like I was like, what was I doing?
I was at Rooftop. I
Oh
was at
shit!
Rooftop Cinema Club when Decays 3 came out because I was like checking the numbers on my shift. Like, how's it doing? Fuck. Not as good as Decays 2.
It comes out and you're like, 0 fuse, I'm cooked.
Okay, 2 minutes, 0, nothing. Alright, guys, we're fucked. Some NDA Production is canceled. I love Decays 3. There's not gonna be a Decays 4.
Yep.
Let's move on. November 4th, 2022, We started season 2 of Some Dude Sketch with the premiere of Crime Fighting Woman. That era of Some Dude Sketch was headed by Rachel Michelman, who was head of Sketch for about a year. Okay, I do not have the specific drops for the different sketches, but I did that for season 1 as well. So I guess, blanket term for Rachel's sketches. It was so incredibly nice to have a production come out for Some Dude Production that I didn't have my grimy little mitts all over. I didn't have to see all the way through.
Yeah.
It was very refreshing, and I think she did a fucking phenomenal job.
No,
absolutely.
With that job.
Yeah. They were hilarious.
Yeah. This one I have written down that kind of marks the end of it, but like, we had the Sketchisode where you fucking... We had the fake argument, you pushed me into the fountain.
That was so funny, and it was so hard to keep a straight face.
Oh,
it is difficult for us to act together and keep a straight face. I don't know why that is, because we act together a lot, but it's hard. Well, I mean...
Because there's that... Because I'm mainly thinking like the Big B Azalea beef.
Yeah.
It's so hard when we're supposed to be like, I fucking hate you.
Oh, for sure. That's what I was talking about too. We couldn't even take the photos for Decays 2 because we were trying to take photos where we were like in each other's faces and every like half second one of us would be like, we were not able to do it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Hello? We're kind of in the middle of something here.
You doing it right now?
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, can I grab your bottle opener?
Oh yeah, sure. It's in my room.
Thank you.
I love you.
Okay.
I was rolling, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yes.
We also had a bit together in NDA. Remember the post-credit scene? It was like, we shot that in here, where it's like us fucking looking
Oh my
at the final
god.
cut
Yes. Yes. I remember that. That was I remember that.
I remember that was just me texting, hey Alyssa, I need an ending scene for NDA. Do you want to shoot a thing real quick?
Yes, I do remember that. That was awesome. And just meandered down the hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shot a thing.
I was gonna say that, just going back to the sketch stuff, like Crime Fighting Woman in particular, I remember being really good.
No, that one was awesome.
Like they were all ones like I liked all of them, but like that one in particular, I remember being like really good and being.
The robot comedian, the prop you guys built for it.
God,
yes.
Rachel and I actually, it was funny. We built that one together. Kind of remember. There's one of she came over to my apartment and we were just like, we had because it was made out of like gift wrap paper and like cardboard boxes. That was a really good puppet though. I was proud of that.
It looks sick.
Absolutely.
I think it might be dead now. It might be gone because I remember her roommate took it, but I think just the roommate got rid of it. I mean, I don't want to spread any rumors, but that's what I've heard.
I would have adopted him.
I
would put him on the shelf.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of space. Though to be fair, I get why you get rid of him. He was really big, but that also might have been. Gabe, that
was the soft launch of Gabe Finn.
I was gonna say, Gabe looks like a baby in that video.
No, he's a little guy.
He's so sweet.
Yeah, that was though. Yeah, but I forgot about the comedy robot. That one was also really good. Yeah.
Fucking Some Dude Sketches season 2.
Yeah.
Then later in the month, in November, on the 12th, production began on Wasteland, which is the short action film that we did in cooperation with the Trojan Stunt team.
Oh yeah.
I co-directed with Courtney Frank, and it was sick. We went out to a place that we had shot at for Decays III. It was interesting for me as someone who's been doing Some Dude shit at that point, fucking over 5 years, to then step on a set where it was like, oh right, this is a club, still. Not like a, let's move with the utmost efficiency, let's boom, boom, boom. So I had to kind of like, whoa, okay, well let me fucking take my foot off the gas a bit, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of the shoot, they're like, "Oh my god, we need to get this done." I was like, "All right, let me Some Dude Production.
Let me take it.
Half of you are cut."
I mean, you're already in your natural environment, i.e., filming outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Middle
of fucking nowhere,
in the
California.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I'll talk more about it when it drops eventually. But November 28, 2022, we announced Gravsley Part 2. Which we've talked about, fucking movie that got hard drive crashed. It's gone. You can see what remains on Patreon right now. I'm gonna pay a couple bucks to go see it. It's not canon, will not be canon, but it was cool. It was fun to shoot. I had Kevin Gramling played my brother. Kevin's fucking awesome. I need to get Kevin in a project that does not get canned.
I know, he was so good too. Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that later.
up.
Coming up.
I was gonna say, also with Grizz too, I remember when because we filmed some of that also when we were filming Raven, because I remember there's like the one of the shots that actually made it, which was the sewer like tunnel shot. I remember that one we filmed.
It was just all the Raven people, like it was like Gabby and Harvey and them with zombie legs and shit. Naomi.
Yeah. It's been interesting also though, like kind of like vulturing like bits and pieces from that for like as you and I in particular like brainstorm future Decay stuff. I won't say specifics, but like I remember recently we had the one conversation, the one idea that I'm like, can I use it? It's such a good idea, please.
And I went, no.
No.
Actually, sure.
No, but yeah, that was a weird though. Like it's a weird. I keep forgetting that was a thing that happened. Cause it's just such a weird liminal state for it, but
like the footage we got is fucking stellar. Like it looks good.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking Limbo project.
Yeah.
And now we're into 2023, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
The year we graduated
Good
college
year.
and everything started
All
going up, baby. January 15th, 2023, production began on Mud. Fucking classic Mud. It was a one-day shoot and it was phenomenal. Very cold. Veronica McFarlane was in the mud for like 6 hours.
Oof. She's a trooper.
Absolutely. For a lot of people I've talked to, Mud was the first project that NDA Productions did that made people realize like, oh shit, there's more to this than just fucking
the zombie
movies and gore shit. Like there could be a lot more done with it. That was also the first movie that was shot fully with our photo lens, which gives everything a really deep depth of field and everything. It's the lens we've been using since. But that was the tester project. I feel like we could shoot an entire film with this sort of lens that has such intense focus.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yeah, I can test this on a 9-page script.
Yeah.
And now I'm a pro at it. The Serov commenters don't think so.
Fuck them.
The Serov commenters are mean.
Bro, we can talk about that.
We'll get there.
I was gonna say one other thing with Mud though was that the first time we shot in that area? Because that's become like a staple NDA Production shooting location.
I guess that little like turn-off area, yes. But as you know, if you continue down that road, it leads you to the military base where we shot Decays III.
But like Mud Valley is now what it's called.
Yeah.
Well,
it's literally called something else.
But we call it
Mud Valley.
Yeah.
We shot some Serov bits there. We shot some Raven stuff there.
It's a beautiful location.
It's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mud Valley and Mud. That was also like view-wise. That's not one I expected to fucking pop off like it did. It's still one of like our. I think it's in top 10 still. So that's pretty freaking sick. But it's funny you mentioned Raven because somehow a week later, production began on Raven, which from the I had to fact check that a couple times.
You're like, are you sure?
I was like, there's no fucking way. Nope. Fucking June 15th, me and Naomi, I was DP, she was the director. We did Mud. The following weekend, her director, me DP, we jumped on fucking Raven.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
And that was a film production that we did.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, because
it's almost at 100K as of recording.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Again, the commenters kind of hate it, but that's whatever. Well, I was just gonna say like, I know because you guys are thinking like, well, what is the process behind brainstorming Raven?
What's the process behind brainstorming Raven?
That's a great question. Because it actually was interesting because it was you shortly, when you shortly moved into your new place, so it had to have been like late summer, early fall or whatever. You were like, hey, I want to do a spin-off with Raven, do you want to do it? And you gave me very broad like things, which was basically just like the existence of Riley and that it's like a foresty survival piece, but like that was
Winter.
Yeah, winter. Yeah.
Winter.
But that was all.
You would later grow to regret.
Yeah, later in the regret that
Foreshadow.
decision.
And yeah, I remember then from then I just developed the idea on my own, and I think we had input, like we talked back and forth a little bit, but I'm still really happy with that script. I think it's great. It is
sick.
So theatrical with just two people yapping, and I love it. And it has a bunch of weird me mannerisms in it, like the fucking the hypotheticals is a big one. But then so when production started, I remember I was very much like, I don't want to be involved with production because I wrote it. I'll have my role in it, but like production wise, I'm good. And I am very happy that I made that decision to try and stay away from the production because
it was
shit.
From the outside, it looked insane.
it was mainly that one day that was insane.
The snowy day, the blizzard day.
The blizzard day.
Yeah.
Where everyone was
Because that was week 2.
Shit.
We were doing it every Sunday. We were shooting just for like school scheduling and everything.
Yeah.
So to your point earlier with Gravsley Part 2, that was shooting Saturdays.
Really?
Yep, because they were shooting at the same time. There was a bit of crossover. I think there was one week where Gravsley was shooting and Raven wasn't, and then vice versa. But generally, same weekend.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a lot. Yeah, there was the whole Blizzard fiasco.
That was again week 2, we're driving up there, and as we get closer, it's starting to snow a little bit. We're like, oh shit, what snow?
This is gonna be so cinematic.
And we're like, what do we think? Should you bail? We'll be okay. So we start shooting this fucking zombie fight scene, which I thought was like, it'll be simple. We got another zombie extra, so we could shoot the scene where Raven and Riley hit the zombie with the car.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be great. We're gonna get so much done today. Then a fucking blizzard rolls in. And you see it in the film, like you see it kind of start out, there's a little bit of snow, and then by the end of the scene it's like, damn, that shit's really fucking coming down. By the time we wrap, we're like, holy shit, we need to go. And we tried to go back the way we came, which is, with where we were, it was like we were down in like this valley thing, so we had like driven down the mountain to get here. So trying to go back up on these icy ass roads with all these inexperienced California drivers, fucking horrible, absolutely horrible.
You just
situation.
imagine Kiwi playing in the background.
Oh my god! I'm trying to remember who the fuck was in my car. I had all this fucking the extras in my car. I had fucking Gabe, who was playing a zombie. I had Megan, and I had Garrett, who was the zombie who was gonna get hit by the car, but ended up never filming anything that made it into the movie.
That's so funny.
But I love Garrett Henry. That's my guy. And then in Naomi's car, in her Prius, was her fucking Gabby, Charv, and I think Maeve was there for makeup.
No, Maeve was there. I remember that because I remember Maeve being like, I almost died for something that I was like just doing makeup for. And I was like, hell yeah, brother.
And so we couldn't go back up the way we came, so we went down and just through the mountains and got out of the snow.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Looks phenomenal.
It looks really good.
It does look
so
really good.
sick.
Yeah.
It adds like so much chaos to that scene.
Yeah.
Raven was a weird time. I also think, and I don't know if this is accurate, but I'm pretty sure one of the days we filmed was the Super Bowl. Like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I remember Gabby being pissed about having to miss that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Was that one of the years we won or we flopped?
I only know us ever winning. I've
Yeah,
blocked
we don't talk
won,
about
so,
any of the years we don't win.
Yeah. So I don't even know what you're talking about. Batting 100.
We definitely won.
Yeah.
Special guest appearance. Trey, do you want to talk about Raven real quick?
Honestly, that was a wonderful experience, honestly.
Get on the couch.
Okay.
Join us.
Everybody, it's Trey.
It's Trey, guys.
That was a wonderful experience. I feel like I was there on the day that when the zombie got hit by a car. I think I might have been there.
When we ended up doing it, yeah.
Yeah.
With Gabe, who
Again.
he played two
Got
zombies
you.
in the piece.
Got you.
Because Garrett couldn't do that other day. That was a long one though, because we shot into the night.
That is true.
That's when we were fucking with Gabby about Hatman.
That's
Yes,
true.
Hatman.
We were just like
Very
shit,
traumatizing.
did you see
Did you
that?
see that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fucking middle of the night in the forest, just
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, that's
torturing her.
I do remember that, yeah.
That was.
I can
honestly
imagine
really
her freaking out over that. Guys, stop.
That is what she was doing.
She was exactly.
That's
that.
exactly what she was doing.
Well, she got us back.
Did
Yeah.
she?
Oh God.
What'd she do?
I guess this was still happening around the production time, right?
I don't know
this
this lore. I'm so
Do you want me to recount it, Brandon? Because it's fucked.
What happened?
It's
my
fucked.
eyes twitching, bro. You gotta say it.
Oh, it's like undeniably like a good prank, but like to
Fuck
this day,
Gabby Fine.
it makes me mad. Basically, it was one of the other days. It was a later shoot for Rape. It was one of the last things because it was the like Nicholas like
When he kills Riley.
yeah, when he kills Riley part, and that one was in Mud Valley actually.
Yep.
But so what happens when you go off onto the side? There's like a little bit of like a hike. It's a bit just long. It's like a 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk.
From like where you
that.
park.
Yeah, from where you park to where we were set up. This fucking guy.
Because we had to go get something from the car.
Yeah, we had to go get something, so we left. Like you and I left.
Well, no. I was gonna go, and then I think you came with me, and then like Rhett joined, and it became like a dude trip.
It was a dude.
And I think the people who just stayed behind it was Gabby, Charv, Naomi, I think Logan,
Yeah.
and I think the rest of us fucking dipped.
This is sounding familiar.
This is
Were you
starting
there
to
for
sound.
this?
I feel like.
And he was a Spartan, so he probably was, right?
But I know some of your stuff we had to reshoot, and we shot in like
George?
my bedroom.
That's true.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I do remember
That's
that.
so.
That's
Well, so we were walking up.
Yeah.
So we walked up after having done this whole hike,
I'm so
and they're
weird.
beginning to like freak out, right? Like, and Gabby was like, she's getting like little, like she's like acting a circle at this point. She's like, I ate like a peanut. Like we were just trying to snack around. And like I ate a peanut, and like,
you told me about this.
and like
Yes.
all of them were also going into it.
I can't find my EpiPen.
I can't find my EpiPen. I can't find
Oh.
my and we're in the fucking mountains. It's like
Oh,
a dry, like
no.
I was like, Gabby's dead. And her 2 weeks out. I was like, well, that's a shame, but she was a good friend of mine. She's gone. There's something I can do. It was
I do remember that.
like, and it lasted for a little bit. We didn't actually start. We like were getting ready to start going when they were like, I gotcha.
Oh no.
That was fun.
I was
Not your eye
fucking
twitching.
pissed, dude.
Oh my god.
Okay, they came back to me.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I
was
remember you
so
telling me about this.
pissed
I remember
off.
that.
Yeah, it was.
I blanked that out.
Yeah,
Probably for a good reason.
yeah,
Yeah.
We-
Traumatized.
gone.
Damn.
yeah.
Oh damn.
It was a lot.
Wow.
Again, I was like, damn. Well,
Well played.
first somebody production death. That's pretty cool. Like, you know.
All right, so Raven's not coming back.
Yeah. All right. Well, guess gotta scrap those plans. You know. Yeah.
It's like, then we had to shoot the fight afterwards, and they were like, you know, get Gabby and Charv around the car getting all beat up, and Gabby's like, it hurts. So I'm like, oh, okay, do it again.
You were checked out.
I didn't get it. I fucked up. Do it again.
Oh god.
He
Yeah.
said we gonna do 40 takes.
Oh shit, yeah. But no, that was
God.
Raven Production was, and we also ended up filming part of it on USC's campus in a dark room.
Yeah. There was a lot of dark room usage.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I think the most seamless was yours and Nikki's.
I don't think I could tell.
Yeah.
It was-
Like,
y'all
see,
made it
I
work.
wonder if you can tell. Go back and watch Raven. See what point George and Nikki are
Y'all made it work.
just in the bedroom. Maybe
Yeah.
it's the one shot where they're standing together separate from everybody else.
We don't know. We don't know.
Maybe
I don't
not.
know. I don't know. I don't know what I do.
Yeah. Fucking Raven now.
Fucking Raven.
Yeah.
Alright.
So good.
Thank you, Trey.
I got you.
Sam. Well, next up on January 27th, Wasteland dropped
Okay.
on our channel.
Hell yeah.
Actually did pretty good. Got like 3,000 views.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. The action and the choreography is pretty cool. I got to edit it. Totally forgot about that. I gave it the Top Gun fucking coloring, so it's all like very orange and like warm.
Hell
And
yeah.
it kind of matches for like the vibe they're going for, like a post-apocalyptic
Mm-hmm.
wasteland. But yeah, and then the next day, production began on Gravsley Part 2. So I guess I had 1 week of just Raven,
Yeah.
and then Big B bitch ass hopped on like as he does.
As he does.
And they shot concurrently for a bit there.
Mm.
February 10th, 2023, Mud dropped.
Hell yeah.
Woohoo!
That's actually a pretty quick turnaround time. Jesus.
Yeah.
Who are we?
What the fuck?
God,
How did you do that?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Woo!
Less than a month? Woo!
Cooking with gas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah.
Even just the poster of Mud, I think is just so like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well.
On April 7th, 2023.
Yeah.
Production began on the Book of Rizz.
Oh my
Another
god.
Some Dude classic.
Yeah.
There it is.
I was gonna say he's up there somewhere.
Oh god, I'm gonna drop that knife right in your head, Alyssa.
Oh,
Boom,
fuck.
almost freaking died. Wow. Hold it up, Keeney.
Yes. Iconic.
And that was a production that we did. It was super crazy. We're not gonna get into the specifics,
You're good.
Nice one.
but that's a good hint for how that project was done.
You
Yeah.
got your chance to do part of Vengeance on Gabby. A little bit, not equivalent, but ballpark.
Yeah, remember the Out Tonight moment where she fucking
The
like
singing?
sang to you
Yes.
on the
I do remember
yeah
that.
from the
We
jump.
did one take.
Yep, and
one
from
take.
the jump, I knew that was not going into the film.
Really?
So I was like, I can't use copyrighted music.
That's so true.
And so I was like, you have to sing that. You have to sing it. You got to. We'll play the song too. You just sing along. Yeah, I'll do it. We'll record it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna go in the movie. It's gonna be so funny. So do it.
Zero intention behind those words. That's so good.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's another one that's on the Patreon. If
Oh, really?
you want to go see it, all funds will go to Gabby.
That was a great scene. I loved being serenaded.
That was yeah. Do you have any thoughts on Book of Rizz?
Well, eBay's was really great before we even filmed anything.
That went hard.
That went hard.
And we did like fucking 3 hours of prep before the shoot. We're like, all right, guys, time to go get lunch.
Right? That's
Just loaded
exactly.
over
We didn't
eBay.
film a single thing.
No,
We were like,
we bought that
lunchtime.
book day of.
That's
Yup.
so funny.
No, I just remember, I'm gonna be real, I think we were filming at like 11 or midnight or something. I was phasing in and out of consciousness. I don't remember. I think there's a scene where like Naomi and I are up against the wall and she's like flirting with me.
Yeah.
I think I was asleep for half that and my eyes were open, but I wasn't there. Like,
Shit, that's fair. There's the one bit I love where you guys are just talking about Avatar 2.
Yes! The water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no reason. I did Seb pretty dirty in that edit.
Did you? How so?
Well, there's just multiple moments where it's like this freeze frame on him is fucking awful, or like just his character in it is just, you know, it's the Rizzless, you know.
Yeah, that's so true. Because
This
she
book-
comes in and helps him.
Yep.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
The triangle technique where he was like,
Yeah.
that's so good.
Well, that's also like, I think that is where I learned not to for everything about this to be like kind of mocking Gabby, but like the comment about like her apparently like, oh, a good thing to do is like comment on someone's like, what is it, collarbone, right? I was like, I don't think that's real. I don't think that's a thing. That's also in Deserter, why they had the line that they say about weirdly hot collarbone is because of that.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Great. Wow.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out when Deserter comes out.
Yeah.
That one's a classic.
That was a fun time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, the day after that came out. Oh, actually, sorry, 2 bullet points here. So it shot on April 7th, and then it came out on April 20th.
Wonder
So,
why that is.
I don't know, but that's crazy. It's less than 2 week turnaround time for that gem.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Then the following day, on April 21st, has it been that long? On April 21st, 2023, production began on Oliver versus the Universe.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a quick, fun summer project.
That one wasn't. Holy moly.
Oh god.
It's still coming out. Don't worry. I know there's a lot of time for some do production. If we're quiet about something for a while, it's like, oh, it's not coming out.
Yeah.
This one is. I was talking to you about this before, but with some of our projects, I kind of like, we're stuck in like the post limbo for so long. We like technically advanced so much within these like couple of years, where a Beast Within, for example, would kind of become dated after a while based on the standard where we're at now. Especially around this era where we're moving into the photo lens with Mud and Raven and everything. It was kind of like...
different era.
Yeah, and anything before this that hadn't come out yet, probably not, just because of the overall quality. Oliver looks fantastic.
Looks really good.
Fantastic. Like, it's just, there's so many different visual effects and cloning moments. Post is just taking so fucking long.
Yeah.
And also with all the other things that are, you know, we shoot and throw into pro that don't have as long as a fucking post-production timeline.
Yeah.
But Oliver is about a regular old average guy. He suddenly gets attacked by a bunch of different versions of himself across the multiverse, and he goes on a wild adventure. Starring our old boy Seb. Came in here asking for a bottle opener.
Yeah. I love Seb.
It's such a good time, such a good movie. It's very visually interesting. For a lot of stuff I'm currently working on, I point to Oliver as kind of opening up my horizons as a writer-director, because mainly up to this point I was just doing like the Decays shit.
Yeah.
I did NDA, but NDA was just, you know, a silly summer project.
Silly summer project.
Yeah. Summer project.
But Oliver is the first thing I wrote that was like super stylized, had such like a distinct identity to the way it's shot and the way it's edited and everything. I was like, this is sick. I fuck with this. And so now I'm working on more shit within that. So not that style.
Yeah.
Like, you know, testing shit out. Not just doing fucking zombie shit.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Or whatever.
You were on Oliver as a PA for a little bit.
Very briefly, yeah. I was for one of the... It was really interesting because it was a part where you got to see, like, how, like... like the things that go into like having like one actor do a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
I was there for one of, I think it was like, there's like an entrance part.
Oh, and a bunch of them are walking in.
Yeah. That I was the PA for.
You're helping with like wig duty.
I was
shit,
helping with wig
hats,
duty. Yeah, which is a little fucked given my lack of hair, but at the time it was appropriate. But yeah, no, I remember it. Like I said, it was crazy because it felt like it did wrap filming pretty easily, pretty quickly. It's just been the post-production but I've seen the stuff. Like, it's great. Like, there's so many fun things. Like, the fact also that, like, Seb contributed, like, childhood, like, footage of himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so fun.
No,
that's so cool.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be such a good time when it comes out.
Yeah.
It's one... at the beginning of the year, I said 2025.
Yeah.
I still think that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like coming towards the end of the year and I'm not yet satisfied, and I don't think it's at a level it could be, I'm gonna push it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's, whether it comes out this year or the next, it's not gonna make a difference in terms of like the quality and everything, just because it's so boom, boom, pow, flash, crazy. But I'm excited. I'm very excited for that one.
Yeah,
I've not forgotten about it. Some people think I have. No. And it's also, this is some deep behind the scenes for you. I edit on a Mac Mini that I got for around Decays 2 time, because I was like, I can't edit on my fucking MacBook Pro anymore, it's gonna explode. So now the Mac Mini's having a similar issue when I edit. Anytime I boot up Oliver, the Mac Mini is immediately like, whoa dude, we were trying to do what? So that's also part of the reason why it takes forever, because I'll edit it for like an hour and my Mac Mini's like, dude,
I need a break.
Please exit out of Final Cut Pro.
I can't do this anymore.
June 9th, 2023, we began production on Serov.
Hell yeah, we do.
And that's a some dude classic.
I love Serov.
I'm saying that for all of them. Yeah, that, you know, directed by our good pal Ian.
And written by him too.
Yeah. And produced
And starred.
and the fucking music and Jesus fucking Christ, he pulled the Brandon.
He
truthfully.
committed.
He did,
and
dude.
it's fucking gold.
No, dude, I fucking love
It's
that.
so good.
movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we dedicated 2 episodes of the show.
Oh,
Sarah,
we have,
talking about it pretty in depthly, but
I remember when he pitched it to us when we had the presentation.
shit, I remember the writers' workshop
Yeah.
when he was first giving us the scripts.
Oh yeah.
And I remember being like, whoa, I don't know how the fuck you're gonna do this.
Yeah.
They did it.
Yeah.
They did it. It's so good.
Yeah, I love it. One of my favorite little stories about that is, I think I said this on your podcast. I play William Hawkins in that, who's the CIA director. In Ian's pitch, when he was just going through telling the team about it, and he's like, here's the people I've already talked to / cast, and I was just on there as Hawkins. I was like, oh shit, I'm playing Hawkins? Okay.
That's really good.
So good.
So, hell yeah.
It was a great production.
No, dude. You are fucking phenomenal in that
Oh my God,
movie,
I
dude.
love
Are you
your
fucking
scene,
kidding
yes.
me?
I don't know about
Fucking
that.
bury
Love-
ya?
yeah.
I like. It's a quick fun bit about that. First of all, that was the point, because in a few weeks, that was around the time I wanted to shave my head for the first time, and I remember being like, should I be bald for Barrier or not? And I was like, I gotta keep my hair because I don't know what my skull shape will look like. I can't be bald. But it kind of makes the character look even grosser that he has like this fucking giant like comb over, like you see his scalp and stuff. But the other bit that I think is really funny is we filmed my scenes originally.
I know exactly what you're gonna talk about.
And we did it, and we were like, originally we bought pince-nez, which are like the little tiny glasses, and we just forgotten them.
Yeah,
Ian forgot them. Yeah, and we're like, okay, well we can just film them with like, I think it was just my
Your
glasses. Yeah. And we did it, and it was. I thought it went well, and I remember, like, I think we like. I can't remember who was the one who started the conversation of we need to reshoot these with the pince-nez.
I think it was like, let's shoot these, and I told Ian, I was like, let me see them, and then we could decide if we want to reshoot it.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like that night or something, I was like dropping him off at his apartment or some shit, but he showed me him, and I was like, oh no, I'm putting Keeney.
Yes.
I see Keeney.
Yeah, so I filmed those things twice. One was just my normal glass, and then the one that got in with the fucking tiny little glasses. But it's so good. And then, yeah, that was a great production.
Fucking Lexi Minitry, fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
On that.
That was my one addition to Serov, was
There you
casting
go.
Lexi.
There you go. And you got a full casting director credit for it.
Let's
Yeah, right.
fucking go.
Ian did most of the work. The only thing he was like, just need you to cast Ronnie's sister. And Lexi was the first person I thought of. I was very happy that she was just able to do it.
She fucking killed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, Serov was great.
Yeah.
So
That was a great
good.
one.
And it was so cool for the first time to shoot a project in black and white.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had Christine, which released black and white, but shot color. And I think up to this point, I was like, I really want to shoot something in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not one of the original ideas that Ian had. I think he wanted to be in color.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, what if we did it black and white? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, what if we did the present day scenes color and the flashback shit black and white? He's like, I don't know. So I'm like, how about on our first day of shooting? Because I was so like, this can work, this can work. I was like, let me shoot it both ways. And then we could decide off day one.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, okay. And it's like, I was framing up the shot and I just had my camera settings in black and white. And I was like, it was Johnny. It was the first day with Johnny, and he was sitting there with the fucking whiskey bottle and shit. And I was like, hey, Ian, check this out. What do you think of this looks? And he's like, that's good. And I think we just, from the get-go, were like, yeah, we're going to shoot this whole thing. Fucking black and white. And black and white's so fucking cool because it stripped like, everything away from the picture. Like, it's down to its bare bones essence. You don't have color or lighting to really help you out that much. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to shoot another black and white thing. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Maybe a noir or something.
We got time.
Yeah, we can do shit.
Yeah.
A black and white Decays piece would be cool.
Oh,
Because we've done the
Romero editions, but yeah, like doing one that's from the get-go.
Yeah, set and
Yeah.
From,
I don't
Interesting
know.
stuff.
Cool
you know?
shit.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on from old Serov, June 30th later in the month, Raven dropped. Fucking the 4th Decays spinoff.
Mhm.
And the last entry in the Decays universe as of this today.
It's
That's
just
the last
fucked.
thing that's come out.
Like,
Really?
yeah.
We shot Withered. We shot
Withered
Deserter.
feels like it was, I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's
it's-
funny
it's-
you should bring that up. It's the next
coming
point.
But yeah, that is Raven is the last actual Decays film that we've released.
Yeah.
Which
It did well, though.
It did really
yeah,
well, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, we already talked about it earlier, but I am interested to see how people are going to react when the sequel to Raven comes out.
Oh yeah.
But if we have the time, we'll
Yeah.
get there later. The following month, on July 21st, 2023, we announced Withered. I think we announced with that photo we took on the streets of LA.
Yep.
That looks like it's in the middle of the forest or some shit, but no.
Yep. It was like on the street.
Right off Frat Row or some
Yeah.
shit.
You were just driving around and we were like, here's good.
Yep.
Get out of the car.
Hell yeah.
And then we went and saw Alex perform.
Yeah, a show with Ellie Williams.
Yeah, and I was in my full Azalea gear, just like
Yeah,
combat
so
boots.
funny.
And just like,
I didn't know about this. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, we can talk more about Withered when we actually get to the production side of things, because a week after that, on July 28th, 2023, the Decays III Romero edition came out, which I think is probably the last of the Romero editions. I don't know how this shit would work distribution-wise, but I don't think there'll be a black and white Withered cut. And I also think the coloring and everything on Withered is too beautiful to black and white it. I think it could look cool in black and white, but I'm like, no,
There's so much beauty in the color of it,
as the
though,
director,
yeah.
this is a color movie for sure. But Decays III Romero, classic black and white version. I think that one has an extended post-credit scene where the Decays III post-credit scene is like Raven calling into Nicholas, are calling into Sparta and be like, get me Nicholas.
Yeah.
And then now the Romero edition is you then see the conversation that follows as she talks with Nicholas, and it was like, you see Nicholas's face for the first time because he's shrouded in darkness. And
I remember filming
Raven.
that.
Yeah.
Because I think it was you, me, and Logan.
And I
filming.
destroyed my ankle.
Oh, that was when you destroyed your ankle. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you shattered that bitch.
Yeah.
That was. Yeah.
We were walking downstairs looking for a place to shoot, and I am carrying the equipment bag, heavy as fuck, full of shit.
Oh no.
I think I'm carrying it like this, and I miss a step,
Oh.
and all that weight just comes down on my ankle, and I go to the ground, and Keeney's just there like, you okay?
Yeah. I'm like, fix your ankle.
Fuck. I'm in pain. We shoot the scene. I'm like, okay, great. Now it's time to go see Naomi's play.
Yeah, Valley of Light. Yeah.
Yep. So I then had to pack up the gear, drive over there. Had to park multiple blocks away from the venue, and walk there. It was a limp to there. I was like, whew, okay. Saw the show. It was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Had a fantastic time. The walk back, holy shit. You were there with me.
Well,
the
let me
whole time,
also say for the record, when he was walking back, I was like, hey, do you want to lean on me? And he was like, no. No, I got it. I was like, what the fuck?
Not.
I was like,
You
what
kidding
the fuck
me?
are you doing? Like, I'm offering.
crazy.
Yeah, you drove back. I can't
Was it
remember.
your right ankle? Or did you switch feet?
He crossed it up.
I low-key.
Accelerator.
Let me fact check what foot it was.
God, yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
Anyway, yes, but that was the time we did.
I just remember on the walk back though, I just progressively just got slower.
Yeah, I do remember that. And
But it became personal. I was like,
I know. Brandon, believe you me, I was aware. That was crazy. That was the same night as the post-credit Romero scene. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the confirmation of which foot it was. I took photos of my fucked up ass ankle, dude. It was all swollen and shit. Like, it was gnarly.
Damn.
But it was cool because I got to fucking just stay in my place for a couple days and just play God of War.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
It was a great
There you go.
time. And it was still fucked up for like the first couple days of the Serov shoot.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was my left one.
Okay.
Okay, so it's fine.
Still bad, but at least you didn't have to drive on that one.
Yeah, like,
Oof.
yeah, that was a rough night. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I won't show them because they don't get your feet pics for free.
Oh
But-
my god. Oh my god.
I forgot how bad it was. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
This is completely off topic.
Okay.
I have to show you something now.
I remember you iced it. I remember it was before after the shoot, or before after the play, but I was there.
I think it was after, because I had a bucket.
Yeah, you bought a bucket and you just iced it or not. Just
Just
let
sit on my bed.
Yeah. I don't know why I was there.
What was...
I can't find it right now, but it made me think of my grandma fell off a ladder and she broke her foot, and you know how your foot points this way?
Yeah.
There's a picture of it pointing that way.
You know what? I'm kind of glad you couldn't find it.
Great.
Well, let's move on.
Yeah,
Moving on.
Don't gotta see that.
August 4th, Withered started shooting.
God, yeah.
Woo! August 4th, 2023. Jesus.
Fuck.
God.
That whole summer was so interesting too, because we walked the stage that May. I feel like that's important to bring up.
Yeah.
We talked about in the last episode the beginning of our college experience, and then this year marked the end.
Yeah. May 2023.
Also, just in terms of generally just like post graduation, NDA Production's definitely kind of slowed its output.
Yeah.
But that's just because life.
Yeah.
Figured shit out.
Had to find a place to live. Had to get money to live.
Yeah.
Losing the structure of college was hard.
No, it really was. Yeah. And then I remember it's crazy that production started right when we had moved in to here.
Yeah, I didn't even fully finish unpacking. I had my bed out, but I didn't have my desk or anything.
I think I actually ended up doing quite a bit just because I knew we were fucking rushing to Dakota to shoot a movie. I was like, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah, Withered was... How long did we shoot? It was like 2?
It was not as long as Decays 2. It was like a week and a half. I'm pretty sure.
You're so right. You're so right.
Like, we weren't there for very long.
Who's here?
Are they okay?
There's just some ruckus boys downstairs, I think.
$5 is Rhett's here, dude.
Yeah, this is like the Rhett's.
He is here. Yeah. I know, he's Sebastian, Rhett and Maxine, I think.
Oh, hell yeah.
So you guys know.
So you guys know what's going on.
Just so we're clear on who's downstairs right now.
I need to get back on this fucking level of editing because we screened the first screening of Withered
2 months,
2 months later on October 6th, 2023. That version has admittedly changed in multiple ways since then. It's like the Withered that people are going to see is not that one. Yeah, but we did have a finished cut as early as fucking October 6th, which is crazy.
How was the production like? Because obviously I wasn't there because you guys didn't.
Well, we actually had such a good time. We're so glad Sam's not here.
I feel like what I remember the conversation being is, we don't want you, we don't like you, you smell, which is like, that was a personal attack. So you brought that angle.
You pissed me off earlier that week.
I pissed you off earlier that week. But because I remember I saw. Like, again, because we'd all moved into this place at that point. I remember Amelia and I saw you off that night.
Yeah.
When we went off.
Yeah. God, we left so early in the morning.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
It was like 3, 4 in the morning when you guys
7
left.
I left so early in the morning. We barely slept.
Yeah.
You didn't sleep.
No, well, I slept after, once you guys had left.
Once we left,
I just collapsed for like several hours for no reason.
We're just discussing
that
getting canceled?
Yeah. We're gonna go in-depth the drop.
Yeah, right? I was like, we're gonna go into depth about the fucking shit. Oh, God.
Wait, are we rolling?
Yeah.
On both. Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Oh my god.
Like, for just like Withered shoot. I know, because it's one where you guys are going back to South Dakota for that. I wasn't invited because of your hatred of me, but I mean, that just must be interesting. Is going back to that also, obviously, because last time you went was Decays 2, so like,
because we were the only returning.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
It was great, dude. I was so glad you, Alex, and Sobo weren't there.
I was the only one that made it.
Yeah.
Made the cut.
I was like, fuck it, I'll bring 7 too.
I guess.
Yeah. But no, it was... Withered was a super nice production to do as a director. Not even just following Decays 3, which was, the big final finale to the trilogy, but also Oliver, which wasn't like a big scale-wise production, but it was a lot of moving fucking pieces and a lot of shit to remember. So Withered truthfully thrives in its simplicity as both a story and a production.
It's a return to form, from Decays 1.
100%, yeah. Fucking first movie was Bigby walking through the fields of South Dakota. Withered, Azalea walking through the fields of South Dakota. Yeah. It's sick. What do you think about Azalea walking through the fields?
I honestly really loved it because it felt like it was more of an internal battle for her. I feel like in the other Decays, it was more so just about getting that anger and aggression out of everything happening, and her conflict was definitely with other people, and
that one-eyed fuck.
Yeah, that fucking guy.
Piece of shit.
But in Withered, I mean, she still had conflicts with people, but it was more so just her struggling internally, which was very fun to play with. And like the horror elements of it and all that, which can't discuss in length. But just in terms of like just being there as like me was also just so, it was so cool to go back. I did get another major injury while I was there, but it was...
Oh, God.
Wait, I don't know if I remember this injury.
There's still
oh, I do remember this injury.
Still
The moment it
hands.
chose that. Yep.
We were filming with Heinrich in your backyard.
Yeah, it was towards the end of the shoot.
Yeah. And we were like, there was some cacti around, but you know, we were very careful to like step around it and such.
Yeah.
And I didn't get poked, and I was like, cool, fuck yeah. Go home. My boots, I have to like zip them down and then pull them off from the back. I zipped it down, put my hand on it like that to get it, and pull my hand back. There's a fat cactus right stuck in my hand, and it was this hand. And I just remember looking at it and not really knowing how to react because the pain hadn't hit me yet. And I just go outside and I see Brandon, and I'm like, Brandon. And I start yelling, and I just slowly, like, it was a very cinematic moment. Like, I just turned around.
It was like a zombie bite reveal.
I just hear you go, oh, fuck. And you come over, and you're like, okay, this is gonna hurt. And then you pull it, and it didn't come out. It didn't move. And you're like, oh, it's really in there. And you had to, like, pull it a couple more times to get out. That was painful, but...
Yeah, damn.
But honestly, that aside, it was, like, an incredibly peaceful time shooting. Even though there were so many, like, intense scenes, like, when we were filming in the school, for example. Like, that was, like, an intense day. But every single day of that shoot, we would just go back home, relax, and just like look up at the stars and like play Super Smash Bros. It was like, I feel like it was a very healing time for all of us.
And also for Azalea, you know, in the story, it's also about her kind of, you know, coming to peace with everything that's happened to her in this fucking horrible world. So yeah, it's kind of interesting it had that overall effect. Because yeah, it was also, like I mentioned earlier, we were just fresh out of fucking walking the stage and everything, so like all that fucking just the craziness of finishing college, like April, May of your senior year of college, oh god. And so then to come out the side on the other side of that summer, like, yeah, let's do a fucking movie and have a good time.
Yep. What a crazy time. That's so funny. It's great. It's great.
You're gonna love it.
What I was gonna say is that it's just such a good time. Absolutely.
Wow. It was cool. We had some callbacks to like original Decays 2 moments, like with Fazoli's going there.
We went back to Fazoli's.
But we had new experiences too, which was really wonderful.
We did not go fishing with hot dogs and catch a beaver.
Nope, we did not.
Unfortunately.
We did get for reals though.
You almost floated down the river.
Oh my god. We had our safe word and I was yelling it. That was like, was it like lemon or something? I was like, lemon!
Some shit,
yeah. It was something, yeah.
I obviously wasn't there because you guys didn't like me. I didn't want me to be involved.
Right.
But the other thing I just wanted to mention is it was interesting because there's a lot of obviously like physical danger, but there was also some like spiritual danger, correct? Like some like other.
Oh my god! I forgot about this.
There were a couple locations within the film which may have been a little haunted. And that's all I'll say. Yeah. Maybe I'll explain more when the movie comes out on which scenes I mean.
Yeah.
So those parts in particular, like, again, I'm just hearing those stories, like, those are so funny. like having one in particular, I'm like, I would have shot myself, to be honest, if I had to deal with that. No.
We could talk about it.
Yeah, we'll save it for later. But
no, RN. Fuck it.
Right.
There's very vaguely, there's one point where my sister's characters, Alex and Penny, they're talking in a cabin. They're having a conversation about events of the film. And as a DP, I was like, oh, it'd be cool if I shot this like outside through the window or something. That'd look really cool. Let me set that up real quick. And I frame it up like, this looks sick. They're in there fucking around, and I'm like, oh.
Well, it's a cabin in South Dakota in the middle of night, right?
Middle
like,
of night, middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
That was the sinking one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm just out there like waiting for them to get ready, and I just feel the back of my neck. And I go, hey guys, are you ready to roll in there?
They just like, all right.
and then we rolled.
You didn't say anything at the time, right? Because you were like,
no. Like, anytime on set, if I experience something that's like fucking either like weird or like anything that would alarm people, but I'm like, I don't feel the need to cause an alarm.
Yeah.
I give it to myself. Like there was a point on Deserter where they were shooting something and I was standing. It was a tripod shot, so I was like standing back and keeping an eye on it. And Gabby was standing by me because she wasn't needed in the shot. And we were standing there, we were watching them do the scene, and then like behind us, we just hear like footsteps. We both turn around. Nobody is there. Nothing back there would have made that sound. And I was like, I cannot say or do anything. One, because they're rolling, but if I give Gabby any sort of panic on my face, she's gonna lose it. So I just went. And I saw her go.
That's so good.
No,
that is true. The more that like I work on other productions too, and seeing like directors, even if it's not like spiritual or something like that, like if a director panics, everyone panics.
Oh yeah.
It's so important. It's so vital.
Even if I'm internally panicking.
Yeah.
You can't let it show because then everyone else on the set will panic.
Like, if the director's fucking freaking out, what am I doing? I'm a PA.
There's a ghost on the set.
Oh shit, he broke the camera? Our ghost also maybe broke one of our
I was gonna say, that is the other.
It's right up there. It doesn't work anymore because the ghost got it. I'll tell that story later.
Sophie and you are very similar too, because she also had an experience with that same location.
That same location.
And she didn't tell any of us until we got home.
Yep. Hers was simple. Yeah. We were kind of shooting a distance from the cabin towards it, and so we were supposed to kind of like round the cabin and kind of walk towards camera. I guess similar to the shoes I was in, I guess was gonna be in, because I think this actually happened before. As she was waiting over there, she heard humming coming from inside the house.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
No.
So.
That's funny.
That's Ghost Production, that's crazy.
Fucking Ghost Production.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll tell more ghost stories about Withered later. It's time to move on to the biggest thing we've ever done on October 3rd, 2023. Production began on the Hayden Harvey revival show. Woo! When's that coming out, guys?
Alyssa, you want to talk about that?
When it's coming out?
Just any of it.
Well, this was round 3 of Hayden Harvey? 3? Round 3? 4? 3.
3.
Well,
4 if you count
the second round of...
Well, no. There's one bit of thing I actually did not put in this because I was like, this is not important to bring up, but I guess we're fucking bringing it up. Remember the Reaper?
Yes.
I forgot.
That was also an adaptation of like the Hayden
Harvey universe.
Wildly different, but like it was still Hayden Harvey, Avery, and all them. Thomas shot for that. There's scenes for that.
I remember we filmed in your old apartment. Yeah.
Matt Jarzana. That was his debut as Tommy. Yeah.
I still to this day. What was the line? Do you remember when we were filming in the Gateway apartment and I couldn't?
No. I don't remember the line, but I remember you could not fucking keep it straight.
I couldn't get through it. Every time Matt said this one line, I started crying laughing. He's so funny.
Great.
I had such high hopes for this last round.
True.
It was so good, and filming was going so well. It was just such a big cast.
But that was such a foundational issue. The script was such a huge ensemble cast all the time. we have the majority of episode 1 shot,
Yep.
and we have part of episode 2. And again, visually it looked pretty good and everything, but just like in terms of coordinating all these different people. Because on the Win is Good, we had that one day where we met outside in like the Parkside dining hall, whatever, and shot like that
We
exterior
had like
scene.
almost everyone except for George, right?
No, George was there.
Who wasn't there that day?
Royce, because I think it was supposed.
Right.
It was in like
You're
a weird
right. You're
limbo
right.
of
Yeah.
casting or whatever.
Yeah.
No, 'cause you have a group photo where it's like
You're so right.
all of us. Lexi was in there.
Yeah, Lexi,
Fucking
yeah.
Nina. No, it was cool.
Yeah.
Whole 8-episode show with all those motherfuckers in a majority of the scenes all the fucking time.
All together, yeah.
And
It's impossible.
Yeah, and on that Win is Good of like what the 2-week span we gave out, that one chunk we found to shoot that scene was the only one that lined up for everybody.
It was
So,
impossible.
Yeah,
I mean, all of us were in college, except for I guess like
well, not us.
not us, but
Actually,
like
I had a semester left still.
yeah. Well, most of the people that were in the
That sounds
cast were
really
still in
proud.
college.
Literally just a week.
I took a gap semester for COVID. They didn't hold me back.
It was really fun to film though, and I really like, especially since SDP does a lot of like heavier content with
Yeah.
like psychological stuff and like horror elements. I really enjoyed that bit of like lighthearted comedy, which would
Yeah.
eventually like bleed into more
Yeah, it would be a
heavier
little
topics
yeah.
throughout. But it was a really fun experience to like just, I don't know, it felt like we were all just hanging out because
Yeah.
we were all friends already.
Mhm.
But just like then just be filming on top of it like something so funny
Yeah.
and having so much room for improv was hilarious. I loved improving with Kevin. It was so much fun.
You guys are fucking funny.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
thank you. It was so much fun. Our little like, what were we even fighting about in that one lunch table scene? Oh, he was talking about going to the gym, and I was like, "You don't go to the
Yeah.
gym. You're not fucking sweating." Like we had a whole. It was
Yeah.
so much fun.
Maybe we'll release what we have of Hayden and Harvey on Patreon. I don't know. 'Cause it's good shit.
It is. It was
Yeah.
fun. It was fun to film. Our scene where you like, it was like an awkward hallway.
Oh, yeah.
I shoved Kevin out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did we gotta add that to the times you two have acted together counter?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's true.
totally fucking spaced that shit out.
Yeah, me too. That was a fun time though. I think it was
Yeah.
also difficult because we had a rolling list of directors that were, because I was gonna direct an episode and Sebastian was gonna DP
Trey
for me.
was gonna direct
Yeah.
an episode.
Yeah, it was, and I think that like there was one director that got switched out for episode 3, and then we didn't know who was gonna direct.
And that's what killed it. I
Yeah,
think that was what made it go.
the last straw.
It all came to a screeching halt, and then there was months of just nothing. And we're like, hey guys, we were gonna try and get this going again. Actually, we're not.
Yeah, and then who was gonna go to Bada?
Micah.
Micah.
Was,
Yeah. So we were on a time limit, and we already hadn't filmed enough.
Yep.
And he was gonna leave for Bada. It was gonna be too hard.
One thing I was also gonna say just about Hayden Harvey though, because you guys didn't include me in it for some reason. I think it's because you guys said you hated me, and also like you didn't want me involved, and also that you specifically said that I smelled, which was weird. Like I don't know why there's a
You
personal.
do. Oh, wow.
Well, but it was a personal attack. But anyway, so no, but like because we had, I think there was some conversation that was had about it, about like feeling bad about like putting effort in, or like also communicating to people about this, thing that people seemed excited about, but ultimately landing on this idea, of like, if your heart's in it, there's no need to force that. Like,
Yeah.
if the energy's not there to do it, no matter how much like people might be excited or they might feel obligated to do it, like it's gonna be a worse product if you don't, if you keep just pushing through that way. So just commit.
Totally.
That being said, I do want. I'm so excited for Matt Trehana to be in stuff because he is great. To go back to this, because also I realized we never really mentioned the other one of like I almost had a piece with him with Uno.
Fuck. I should have put that in here.
It was a very we filmed like once but I was like him being in that I was so happy with. I was like, I mean everyone was great. All 3 of the actors I picked I was happy with, but him in particular I was like, fuck yeah. He brings the exact energy I want for this. But
even what we did shoot for that, fucking, it's called One Late Night, fucking banger.
Yeah.
Fucking, the visuals are still good because we had them in like the different colors of like.
We did the Uno colors, But anyway, didn't mean to derail from Hayden Harvey, but I love Mark.
No, that's awesome. We are not getting to it today, but he just technically just made it. No, that's not true. He's just extra in Decays 3. but he made another some dude appearance in Roger and the Forest Goblins, which is out now.
Hell yeah.
On the YouTube channel.
Is it in Decays 3? Is he the one that's like the shirt comment? Is
Yes,
it,
yes he is. Yes he is.
He's so fucking
So
funny.
good.
No, I love that. And going back to Hayden Harvey.
Yeah.
Would have been so cool. I'm thinking back to like the intro that I shot with the Dominic Fike song and everything. It would have been so cool, but another thing I mentioned on your podcast, but for me, I think it was the delegation of directors and all that kind of was. It wasn't like the sole thing that destroyed that show, but I think it was what did not help.
Well, yeah, because what would have happened is it would have gone to you.
Yep.
And that would have been too much on you to like act, direct, DP, or like just do too much, especially like for an entire series.
Yeah.
Because I think you were already set to direct 2 episodes, and then it was like dispersing between other people. But then when one of the directors dropped out and it was gonna have to go to you, it was gonna be too much.
Yeah. But I am taking a lot from that show and just what I've learned and how, because we've never done a show. I mean, FIA, that is...
Yeah.
Decays 2 started as or was it Decays 1?
Decays 1.
Decays original
Yeah,
Decays.
started
Yeah. But not like a proper one that just like stayed a show and never got like a movie at it or
Yeah,
some
for
bullshit.
sure, for sure.
So, little snippet of the future.
I was gonna say,
we are currently working on a new show by the title of The Blue Phoenix.
That's cool.
It is a reboot, reimagining of the original Blue Phoenix, which we did in 2020.
That's also the same universe, right? The Hayden Harvey stuff, because Hayden Harvey is also with FIA, which is also with...
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're doing a new show. I'm going to keep it fairly vague, but we started choreo rehearsal last night, and it went very well. But...
Just show the video.
But with Hayden Harvey having such an ensemble cast and it being so crazy, when writing this new show, I was like, okay, obviously the Blue Phoenix needs to be in every fucking episode, but let's keep the cast kind of contained to each episode minus, supporting characters throughout the whole show. So it'd be, on a production scale, much more achievable and easy to like schedule shit. Kind of to your point though, and saying it'd be too much for me. I am directing every episode though.
There you go. Woo!
Let's go.
Because I fear of a similar result, like with Hayden Harvey. If I'm like, I'll take the first couple, then you guys can do the rest. I don't know if I can do the first. If I can get this show off its feet with like this first season, I just brute force do it all as writer, director, DP at times, actor at other times, whatever. I feel like then if we get to do a season 2, then I'll be like, okay, let's bring some other directors in. But I wrote and directed the original Blue Phoenix trilogy, back when I was a teenager, and so I almost feel also a responsibility to him to be like, all right, I'm gonna take this first volume just for Brandon. We're gonna do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Hayden Harvey was not for nothing.
Hell yeah.
At the end of the day.
The next note is really funny.
All right, guys, December 29th, 2023, NDA came out, baby.
Let's summer project.
Go.
That's so funny.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And it was just such a... I love that movie. I think it's so funny. The release was such a... Here.
Yeah, we didn't really do
Here you go.
Yeah, I guess.
We had this whole marketing idea like going into it. Like, oh, we're going to actually take classic some dude posters and Photoshop the NDA people into it.
Yeah.
We did a couple of those. I'll throw them up now. But we were basically like... No, just
release
put the
it.
movie
Just
out.
put it out.
We need it off our
It's
shoulders.
a fun summer project. So. Yeah.
But then, 2 days after NDA came out, we started production on The Night Side. Which I did in South Dakota with Sophie and Iz. I was back for fucking the holiday. And we were just like, literally while I was there, like, fuck it, let's do a short film. And we wrote the script and we shot it all within like a week and a half. Which, like, having nothing, not even an idea on paper or anything, was just so crazy to just like kind of sit down and brainstorm this little short piece that is doing crazy.
It's doing really well.
Four film festival selections. It won an award. What was the award? Best American Film. Goddamn, whatever you get. But on Nightside was a super fun one. Another simple one. That was nice. It was in the snow, but there was no blizzard, no nothing. For like the final moments when Annie is like traveling through like the darkness of the snow, there's like snow blowing. Well, that's the closest we get.
Yeah.
And now somebody Productions is never gonna set foot in snow ever again.
Yeah.
You hear that? You hear that?
I
You
know.
hear that?
Yeah. Well, it's so funny. We've literally had the conversation where like with Raven stuff, because like thinking ahead of stories and stuff, that being like, what if we did something where it's like kind of snowy? It's like, no, no,
Absolutely not.
no. Yeah, we're not doing that. Yeah, I remember that being a very visual piece, which was interesting. Like just
Nightside,
very,
yeah.
it's a really beautiful piece, like visually, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sick. January 30th, 2024. We're in 2024, baby. The first episode of Some Dude Talks releases.
Yeah, we caught up.
We caught up.
No
Isn't that fucking crazy?
It's so funny. Also, we figured it out today while we were doing the notes for this. We were like, "Oh shit, we gotta talk about this."
That's yeah.
The first half of this. Yeah.
But we shot that like in 2023.
Yeah, we did.
Definitely shot
Yeah.
that.
It was towards the end, like December or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was technically the second recording of the show though, because we did the Serov episode with Seb, Lexi,
yeah.
and Ronnie first. Like
Yeah.
that was like the figuring out the kinks of the show episode.
Yeah.
But we wanted to start it with the history one.
Yeah.
Which I find myself going back to that video often. It's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I'm so glad I can now remove that data from my brain. And it's in the video.
Yeah.
So if I ever need that reference, I'll just go watch.
There you go.
Yeah, true.
A younger Brandon fucking.
Older Brandon.
Older, younger Brandon. What the fuck? But yeah, I don't know. We were just talking about it off camera, but we're hoping that the frequency of these talks is gonna go up.
They're fun.
I have a blast with them, whether I'm sitting here or if I'm fucking back there with fucking Gabe, just seeing whatever is happening. One episode we have that's currently in post, we did a Raven talk with Gabby, Charv, and Naomi around the time we were shooting Deserter. So that'll probably be coming out after this one. But this one is the quickest fucking turnaround time we're ever gonna have for a Some Dude talk.
That's
1 week. We got 1 week to put this one out.
Buddy better start fucking editing this soon.
I know, man. Shit. He better be on that right now.
Yeah.
Or airdropping him the footage as it's
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, guys.
God.
You guys been talking for 2 hours.
But, because I totally fucking spaced this out. This is dropping on our 8-year anniversary.
Oh my god.
Fucking
That's
old ass
crazy.
company, right?
Old ass
Woo.
company.
2 more years and we're in a decade.
Yeah.
Oh god. 2 more years and a decade of Some Dude Production. That
Yeah.
is.
That's crazy.
Sheesh. Oh.
2 years will be in our...
We'll cover that in History Part 3.
Yeah, it's right there. But it's so funny to imagine that originally when we filmed the first one, we were like, alright, we just gotta get to Nightside. And then we're good. Oh, fuck.
Man.
Yeah.
No, I remember that. Holy shit. But, hell yeah. Some Dude Talks.
Some dude talks.
Happy to be here. We're gonna do
Hell
more. Next month after that, February 16th, 2024, Sketchisode dropped the finale of kind of Some Dude sketches as a whole.
Yeah.
That was when we mentioned earlier, we could push in the pool.
Yep.
There's like the Office
Yeah.
sketch.
The Star Wars one with Ian.
Yeah. Yep.
That was funny as
Yeah.
fuck.
But yeah. So then I don't know, because I think especially after like kind of Rachel ended her tenure with the sketches and everything, I was like, yeah, I think the sketch is done. Overall, is moving forward. I think we're much more just production oriented now.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're fun while we had them. 2 seasons of sketches, 2 directors, 2 wildly different fucking tones.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
It's cool. I think they're all fucking funny. to be
Yeah.
honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They were a good era.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2021 to 2024. Some Dude sketches.
Yeah.
Right.
R.I.P.
And then just a couple days later, on February 23rd, production began on Wanna Hit, which was the horror short from Maddie Moran.
Yep.
You helped cast that one.
Yeah. Oh, I fought hard for that casting.
Yeah.
We that was
You
that
can
was
talk about
yeah, that was an insane casting. That was probably like the most intense casting process, I think.
2 roles.
Which is crazy because but we saw so many people, but it was we never saw them together, which was the hard thing. So it was
I remember that.
who is going to complement each other best.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, it was really nice to do, like, in-person auditions for people that could do it. I feel like that was usually for casting processes, I feel like we all of, like, whether you're the director, whoever, because you're always there too, regardless, but most of us had the same idea of who's gonna go, and I think that one, we just, like, we were in between two people for, I can't remember the name of the... Madison. Yeah, I think Madison. Yeah. But it was a really fun process to have in-person auditions, but having cast Madison, we ended up going with someone who was solely based off of tape and then Zoom callback, which was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really fun process. It was stressful for sure. But... And also heartbreaking, because it was just, like, especially the top 6.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And having to send out those 4 emails of the people that didn't get it, but made it to the top 3 of their character. Yeah. That was sad. Yeah. But I'm really happy with the people that we ended up picking. I feel like both of them just worked so well together.
Yeah, they killed it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that shot for that whole weekend, which we're about to get into how crazy that weekend was. But for me, it was super nice because it was one of the first, kind of funny, we were talking about sketches, it was the kind of the next step in, like, me being creative director but hands off, because I was producing, I was helping them do all this stuff. But when it came to shooting, I think I popped in like day 1 and then day 3. But I was generally like, all right, we doing good? Need anything for me? Pizza? I got the pizza. Anything else? Alright.
Cool.
But they were all fucking tight. Like, fucking Andre was there doing stunts. Gabe was gaffing it up.
Gaffing. I was gonna mention
Gabe was gaffing the hell out of it.
Gabe.
Yeah. Maya Gardner was DP. Maddie was directing. I was like, there's a lot of people I trusted. And I was very confident. So I was like, hell yeah. I don't need to fucking be here. I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
Or, in terms of the following day, I'm gonna go to the Serov premiere on fucking February 24th in Sherman Oaks.
That was so fun.
That was a wild one. Yeah.
It was a far drive, but it was a fun night.
Yeah.
It was such an interesting little venue.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was just so intimate, and like it felt like it was like there was just so many people that were so excited to see the film. Like even though it was a smaller venue, like it felt like a massive full theater. Yeah.
I thought it was also really cool afterwards when like you had a bunch of different people like talking and chatting and all that. But yeah, that was really cool, and that was all like I don't know how much. I mean, I think that was all Ian basically, right? Doing that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was like, here's the plan. I was like, cool.
Yeah, that was a sick night though.
That was fun.
Yeah, and then the following day on February 25th is when Serov came out. It was so interesting to watch the analytics on that one because it came out and it was me like, fuck, Serov flopped. Damn. All right, whatever. And then it slowly started like trickling up. Like, okay, go Serov. It's like, whoa, shit!
Yeah.
It since has beat the original Decays, so it is the number 3 most viewed on the channel.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It is not out of the cards that it will also beat Decays 3. I think Decays 3 is currently around 600K. Serov is around 400K.
Fuck yeah.
But Serov was gonna have to do a lot of work if it wants to beat Decays 2.
Yeah, that's.
Where are we at right now? Like 2.7?
2 point something mil, yeah. Something crazy. 2.8, I want to say.
That's insane.
Yeah. I love Serov. It's such a fucking good movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Like, especially with... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just like because I wanted to be a part of the production, but I was out of town for the 1 week that it was filming. But I just remember being a part of the pre and then seeing the pictures on SCP and then to be able to go to the premiere and see his vision and then nothing and then the finished product. It was just so incredible what him and like everyone did in such a short filming period, but also like the extent that he went to in the post of all of the work. Like you could just see it. You could just see his passion. You could see how much everyone loved what they were working on in it.
I need to watch that movie again.
Yeah.
The 2 things I was going to say real quick about Serov. Number 1, Eric sound designed it. It elevated the whole
Gutierrez,
fucking...
dude. His sound design, everything he fucking touches is gold.
Absolutely.
Roger and the Forest Goblins, also sound designed by Eric, and he went above and beyond.
Well, for Serov in particular, I remember there's like some scene that's in the apartment, and in the background you hear like dogs barking, and then like
horses.
Yeah, and also like people marching by at one point, and I'm like, holy fuck, it's such like it really sells it though, like, because you know, when you're filming it, right, we filmed in like Ian's apartment in downtown LA, and you're gonna like, I remember being a little in the moment of like, oh, will we be able to sell this? And like the sound design really, I think, helped sell it a lot. I was gonna say, fuck the people hating on Serov. I don't get it, and I hate it, and it's dumb.
Well,
and I hate
you know what it is? It's a bunch of people who do not understand what historical fiction means.
Yes, it's
they
a bunch
don't.
of
They're like,
bitches.
this isn't real. This isn't what happened.
Yeah, duh. It's a fucking movie. Like, I'm sorry. This is something I really hate.
Stupid.
Like,
Stupid people.
No, some of my favorite comments on it are when people are dogging on the cinematography. And so I was like, was the cinematographer drunk?
but like, there are people who are like, okay, well, if you're looking historically at this point, by the fall of whatever, this had happened. I'm like, who gives a shit?
Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
I didn't know you were a virgin. Cool, I guess. Like, God, I hate it so much. Serov is great though. I love
Amazing.
Serov.
Them motherfuckers who don't understand that any and all comments help all engagement.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
analytics. That's
Right.
why I'm like, shit.
Let it rip.
Talk
Let it
your
go.
shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Go ahead.
Only helps us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter because it's like, it won so many awards.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that did a fucking film festival sweep.
Yeah.
Like, he won something like young
Young filmmaker.
thing.
and
Lexi
then
won like in
Best Actress.
Mhm.
He won a music for sound.
Yep.
Music. And it won Best Noir Film for another.
God damn.
Hell yeah.
It was,
Fucking
it sweeped at the festivals.
Shout out fucking Serov.
Hell yeah.
Serov.
So good.
Yeah, no, banger. And also shout out Ian,
Yeah.
who's just been a huge fucking hand in helping some of these productions
Jesus.
since he's
Yeah.
joined.
Yeah.
He handles all the fucking gross business, legal, tax bullshit that I do not want to touch, and if I did, I would ruin it. I can make a movie.
Yeah.
Running a company?
Recently, he's been dealing with that, and I was like, God, I don't know how the fuck you manage that. It's insane, but yeah.
I had to send him analytical data recently. I was like, what the fuck is all this mumbo jumbo?
I only know words and camera.
I only know subscribers and views. But yeah, fucking Sarah. 2024, I think, though it was a slower year for SDP, was pretty good because about a month after Serov dropping on March 30th, we started production on From Within. Whoa, King, what the fuck is From Within?
What are you? Where are we?
What's going on here?
happening?
I've been in this room for 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh god. But basically, so basically what had happened was...
Wait, basically what?
Basically, this is what's going on.
Basically.
Alright, I'm talking about the basics here. What happened was, I have had the idea for a horror piece for a while. Because it's a genre that I like a lot, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. And it's funny, the impetus for that piece was an actual real conversation that you and I had when I was living by myself. There was a period of time where I was not in a good spot mentally. And I got it a little bit in my head that, like, oh, what if there was someone living in my room, like living in like the walls, kind of. And we had a conversation. That conversation was like the blueprint for the rest of the piece. And I tried writing it like fucking like 5 different times, and each time I was like, I'm not happy with it. And then,
Can we real quick add?
Yeah, what's
that
up?
fucking in the conversation we had, it was I think, was there someone living in my walls? Like, that's fucking stupid. And you're like, well, here are the reasons why I might think someone might be living in my walls. I'm like, okay, let me hear them. Whoa. Wow.
It was so funny. It's like a friend who's like, no, that's crazy. Well, let me hear them. And you're like, damn, really? That happened? Like, that was what happened. That was the basic conversation. And it would keep being like, oh, well, this is one thing, but like, that couldn't be realistic, right? And Rand's like, yeah, I know. But wait, have you considered this? And I'd be like, I hadn't.
Oh,
It was so funny. So I tried writing it like 5 different times, and then just wasn't working. And then when I was writing the script for Deserter, there was just one night, I don't know what came over me, but I was like, I'm gonna finish From Within. And I put on the Haunted Hill House music, and I just for 4 hours straight cranked it out. And I was like, I'm happy with this. And then we started going into production.
I also remember one that you were like, I'm gonna work on Deserted tonight. I was like, okay, cool. And the next day, you're like, I finished From Within.
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
Hold on, pause.
But it was like, and that was the first production that I was director for, and that was weird, and it was a strange experience. It was all, very much in our house. It was a fun production overall.
Yeah.
There was the one other shade of it, which I think is funny to mention, of the day before the production started, I, got broken up with, the night before.
While
yes.
we were watching.
While I was watching Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, I was at the movie and I was like, let me check my phone for no reason. So it was really interesting because then going in the next day, I passed out. I didn't sleep in my bed then. I was passed out on my couch in my room, and I was no phone charge, nothing. And I woke up that day and I was like, I don't want to do this movie. This is a dumb movie. I was so out of it. But honestly, what helped was you really you helped me a lot, keep me on track and keep the production rolling around. Because even when we started filming the first day, I wanted to call it quits a little bit. I was like, this is not coming together. I'm done. But it was really fun. It was just it was basically mainly one weekend. We had a few other pickup shots happen later, but and that was with obviously Charv and Gabe, and that was
Gaff and Gabe.
Gaff and Gabe. And it was just a really fun little shoot. I'm happy with how it came out. It's my first attempt into horror. Might be more attempts in the future, but I was really happy with what happened with it, even if it was a bit of a weird time production-wise because of all the stuff that I was dealing with. But yeah,
no, it was sick. It's definitely one of the projects I'm kind of in this phase of some new productions that we've been talking about. I kind of really started dipping my whole fucking feet into DP shit.
Yeah.
Because I did it before out of necessity, but I feel especially with the new photo lens and mud was where I was like, all right.
Yeah, because it was really fun with the visuals for that. You had a lot of good ideas. I remember the creeper shot that I was like, it's not gonna work, and then I was like, that's a great shot. But yeah,
no,
From Within.
It was so eerie. I loved how the elements that you put in of just not outwardly scary, but just if you notice it, terrifying.
Yeah,
that was such a great.
Again, hashing on it, fucking Eric.
I was about to bring up
so.
Oh
much.
my god! Yeah,
it's the sound of
rain.
it is the rain, the fucking he popped the fuck off with that. It's so good.
When Edgar first enters, you hear the pittering of the rain, but then he walks in, you hear the rain more clearly as the doors open and it closes again.
Which is not at all, it's all his doing. There's no...
100%.
Yeah.
He did a similar thing in Withered, but there's a point where, spoilers, you're holding back some zombies behind some doors, and he made, the zombie growls louder, depending on if the doors were open or if they were, closed.
Yeah.
I'm just
He's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, but he was critical at making that, I think, as good as it is.
Yeah. One of my favorite little details of From Within, and it will forever live as a constant reminder of the day you had prior, when Vic's doing the dishes, you could see the Kong cup that we had gotten from
really?
when we saw
God,
Godzilla X
awesome.
Kong.
Yeah, the Kong cup.
And there's also a Some New Production mug in there, but less visible than the Kong cup, but
I remember
the Kong cup's there.
Every single time we were because whenever we reset everything, you're well, I gotta make sure the Kong cup's in the right position. And meanwhile, I'm just what's the point of it, I think, man. But no, I'm really happy with how it came out as a production.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Charvin Gabe, like I said, did great jobs during it. But yeah,
we also did Bloody Mary.
We did do Bloody Mary, yeah, as part of a director thing. Before we started filming, I made them do Bloody Mary in the bathroom.
Damn.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny.
That was sick.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, let's go shoot a movie.
We were like, okay.
Hell yeah. And then just a couple days later after that, on April 1st, 2024, we rebranded to Some Uplifting Creations, kind of shifting away from kind of like the gory, more mature stories we're telling and kind of to tell more like family-friendly, uplifting stories.
It's so dumb. It's such a dumb bit.
That was an April Fool's thing I came up with day of.
I remember that you were
'Cause-
like, I have to come up with something.
Oh yeah, because I talked to you in the backyard or something.
Yeah,
You were like
yeah.
leaving. I was like, "Fuck, dude, I'm trying to think of April Fool's thing."
Yeah, and then you passed it by me. I was like, yeah, do that.
Yep. Fucking classic suck.
Classic suck.
Then moving on from that, 19 days later, on April 20th, Wanna Hit dropped.
Hell yeah.
That was that's pretty cool. Kind of talking about it, but
Yeah.
one of 3 horror shorts we had in 2024.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but a week after Wanna Hit dropped, on April 27th, me, Seb, and a couple other
Okay.
fellas decided to drive out to the desert to shoot a teaser for a film we thought we were gonna do called Lawton.
Hell
And it was a very sick teaser. We were literally out in the
Such a
middle
cool
of the
teaser.
fucking desert.
Yeah. It would have been so good.
It would have
Yeah.
been so fucking sick. Maybe one day we'll do a tell-all on like what that story was gonna look like, but I don't know if there's elements of it that I'm gonna reuse in other shit. There
Yeah.
already is,
Yeah.
but there's mainly one big element that I'm like, I think you know, towards the end, like the crazy like,
Oh yeah. I'm locked in.
Oh.
we kind of dip our toes into the origin of the virus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know if it's even canon, but we started to get into it. It was cool.
It was
But just too much shit happened with that. We talked about it in the one we did with Tori.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, teaser footage is probably playing right now, and it's badass. It would have
Yeah.
been cool, but
Yeah.
that's what happens.
And Seb one day he's gonna get a Decays project. That
One
doesn't
One
collapse
day,
in
man,
days.
he's
Sounds
gonna
good
get one
direct.
in.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm, you know?
Yeah. That's the whole.
But then, crazy gap, crazy jump. Like I said, we kind of slowed our roll after we all graduated, figuring out our shit. On August 5th, 2024, we started production on Deserter,
Yeah.
Woo!
the sequel to Raven.
Yep.
We shot for 2-3 weeks.
It was a quick production though.
It didn't feel like it.
Yeah, it felt. Oh god.
like, that Deserter is legitimately the first production I think to like break me physically.
Oh shit.
Like I've been able to put my body through a lot of punishment throughout
Oh,
everything.
right, yeah.
I was falling apart on
Yeah.
fucking Deserter. My back was fucked. My knee was fucked.
Yeah.
There was one point just for like safety, we had to like dig a tree root out of the
There's
ground that
the
was
picture.
like in there, and I literally using just the Big B knife that I just had on set with me. I was just fucking like going around, tore up my hands, they're all bloody and shit. I was fucked up, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, cause I was just producer and DP, so I was also doing a lot of running around up in fucking Mount Disappointment where we shot.
Yeah.
Mount Disappointment.
Great location.
Phenomenal location.
Yeah. Like the camp like looks so good.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess, do you want to talk a bit about Deserter since you wrote that one too?
yeah, Deserter, it was I mean it was always especially I think after we saw the success of Raven, we were like, all right, we want to do more with this. And just Raven as a character is one I think that was so embarrassing.
Shut up. That was the one for me and him.
Raven was always a character we kind of want to do some stuff with, just, you know, because they're an interesting sort of character in the way they're positioned in the story. But I'd had the idea for a long time, and I think I can say this because it's not really spoiling about like what actually happens in the piece, but like the core idea I had for this was like, you know, we see Raven get broken at the end of 1, so like 2 is gonna be the doubling down on it. You know, 2 is because we know where her story at least gets at by Decays 3.
Yeah.
But like I think it's funny like the idea of having a story that's like kind of a reinforcement of like, no, they're on this path. They're pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked. But yeah, so I wrote that one. I started in like fall, and then I had a script by like March-ish, I think. And that one did take a lot out of me to write. I remember towards the end in particular, there was like, I think I full on did like a few all-nighters of just like meticulously like working and reshaping it. But I was really happy with how it turned out, like writing wise. Like I think I'm very happy with the story that it tells, and Raven and the new characters I love. I think they're all great. But yeah, production wise though, it was very interesting production. It was very because Gabby
lived in New York.
at the time, so like we had to be it was just the moment they got here, it's like let's start filming. Let's yeah.
Immediate.
Yeah.
It was very like reverse South Dakota production, where it's not us going to a location, it's one person coming to us, and like, all right,
Go. Yeah.
But everyone, I think, did a great job. There's some real fucking. What was I gonna say? Oh fuck! It's so embarrassing.
Can I go back real quick?
Yeah.
You're talking about like the conception of it, because I think, yeah, first Raven was so great, seeing the origins of that character on Outbreak Day and everything. But I think a lot of our conversations after were about like wanting to see kind of her initiation and inauguration into Spartans.
Yeah.
Because obviously Raven ends with her joining the Spartans seemingly.
Yeah.
But no, like what was that process look like?
Like how did we get from this point to this point?
Yeah.
What does Spartan culture look like? What does all that look like?
Yeah, there's a lot of Spartans
No,
up there.
so yeah, Deserter is definitely a bigger film than Raven for sure. I mean, it's gonna be a feature, and I think it's just such a rich exploration of not even just that character, but that world, and just showing us such an interesting, different viewpoint on things that isn't kind of tied to the cyclical cycle of violence that we followed throughout the main story. It's a little more like, and this is what these fellas are up to. Yeah. And their shit's also fucked.
Yeah. Well, we've talked before about like the idea of Decays, their series kind of having 4 main characters and Raven being one of those 4, and how they all go through similar journeys, right, of like losing someone they care about and then going on a revenge quest, and then for a lot of them it's basically like being given outs or opportunities to not double down and then doubling down. Yeah. So that was just fun to give Raven more of that, because you only really, a lot of the other characters, at least for Bigby and Azalea, like, you see them lose a person and then you see kind of the aftermath. But for Raven, Raven 1 ends with the death, so you don't really get to see a lot of it. So that's kind of the explanation of how they then got to where we see them obviously in Decays 3.
Yeah.
What I love so much about it, too, is that you get to see how being a part of the Spartans affects different people. Because it was really fun to see, like, the doubling down on some, or, like, the cowering for some. And it was really interesting to bring in so many new characters into this world. Yeah. And see how, like, Sparta affected so many different people in the core of that story. Yeah.
And then obviously like Raven's rolling as well. Like she's a fucking monster. Like she does some fucked things. Again, I don't want to speak too much about it or too into it because whatever. But fucking like. I do love the new characters. I think I'm really happy with the people we got to work with. Like Olivia, we had worked with her before, and she was great.
She's awesome. Yeah. And I'm glad all these new characters who are going to survive and continue throughout the rest of the series.
But it was just an intense shoot, though. It was very, like, because we were filming it either outside or, like, the main floor of our house got turned into, like, a set.
Yeah. 2 sets.
The camp
set. 2 sets,
Yeah, and it was fucking crazy. But, we got a lot done. I think I'm fairly happy with what we have. Like, and I'm so happy also to shout out fucking Naomi for, like, interpreting my stuff. And, like, I've said before, like, I trust her and I like her to interpret my work. Like, I think she has a great vision and mindset for all that, like, that I like and I appreciate.
Absolutely. Bringing her back to direct the sequel's a no-brainer.
No,
yeah. I mean, I'm chopping up Deserter right now. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of it, like, recently, and it's good. It is.
Hell yeah.
I'm stoked for people to see it. We will have more details. Well, teaser's dropping today, too. Technically, in terms of...
today.
Not today. Today. But... when the day this video drops, there should be a Deserter teaser out.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go and check out.
Hell yeah.
So, and Trey just found out that there's a Deserter teaser dropping on the 3rd.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That he's in.
Yeah. What's fucking... Sorry, real quick. I haven't seen any of the George stuff. And it's... fuck to me because I love that part. Like that beginning sequence, I was like the way I was like, hell yes. Yeah. And I haven't seen it yet. I'll see it one of these days.
One of these days, I'll show you. Moving on from Deserter to our last point, and we've caught up to October 2024 in our history.
Hell yeah.
On October 4th, 2024, we had 2 movies drop on the same day. Nightside and From Within. Sister projects.
Yeah.
that was a decision we came to like, what, 3 weeks or so before?
Probably, yeah.
Where you and I just like were talking in the living room. We were like, what if we dropped them both on the same day?
Yeah, well, because we had different ideas of like spacing them out, like because we wanted them in October, but like how they get spaced for a long time. We went back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
And then we eventually landed on the same day.
It was our second October without a Decays project. 2023 was also dry.
Yeah.
No October release. But maybe there will be one this October.
Who knows?
Please.
Please.
Who knows? Anyway, we haven't caught up fully to present day, but we've caught up with as much as we're going to get through in this video.
And we're basically there.
No, we're
basically
basically
there,
there.
yeah.
So we'll
We'll
do
do fucking like Roger and some
yeah,
other
so
shit.
like, Blue Phoenix choreo story, whatever,
Yeah.
blah, blah, but so crazy. Not only just this video, but the previous one, going through.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wild.
How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, I think the big thing also is that like I'm excited because even though going through this one, we were kind of looking like, damn, there were periods of time where we were like relative to where we were of like big gaps, and I think like obviously you can get discouraged by that, but like at least from what we've talked about, I know there's fucking sick stuff coming.
Yeah.
But like we've taken the time to like brainstorm a lot about what we do want to do, so like I think that's gonna be super fun to get back into like that swing of things.
And I think, to kind of to that point too, our output was much higher back then because also our technical and quality level were not to where they are.
Yeah.
Now.
There was less like planning involved.
Yeah. And there's still not that much planning involved.
Sure. That's true. Movie next week.
Yeah, let's just figure it out.
But it's like, there's more things to think about, I guess. Like more like location scouting is more of a thing now.
Yeah.
And like more elements that we keep just like pulling into our repertoire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm so confident just in the quality of our stuff that's gonna be coming out in these next couple of years. I keep telling people this, and I don't have to put my money where my mouth is. 2025 is the year that Somebody Productions cooks and simmers. 2026, y'all are fucked. Like 2026 is gonna be a goddamn year, dude. And I'm incredibly excited.
Hell
yeah.
I'm killing myself. I mean,
Don't say that.
What?
I got a different.
Hey.